the betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.
Moving along to race number 2, which will be the start of the place accumulator over 1,200 meters. This is a maiden plate for fillies and mares that jumps at 1:10 on the afternoon. And before we get into the second race, let's have a look at One Smart Cookie when making a very pleasing run on debut, and then an interview, Rachel Venica and Nicola Drosco.
One Smart Cookie's looking to run on inside the last 200 metres, and Q the Rebel the one to get a hold of. Miss Alberg's trying to close in, then Vision to achieve down the inside. Q the Rebel, Miss Alberg's running on. One Smart Cookie's getting to it late on. Miss Alberg's reeling them in though. Miss Alberg won it. Second Minogue, then came One Smart Cookie, and Q the Rebel only gave in very, very late on.
Yeah, last time out she also only had one run. She finished quite far back. She was also drawn right on the outside 15 on a Pat Malone. She didn't really have anything to help her race with. So today we're drawn amongst some horses. So I'm hoping for a little bit of improved run, but she definitely will be needing further.
Yes, Ribbons and Flags, also her first start. She's a very nice filly. Also first run, so I think she'll be quite green. She's a little bit on the immature side, but I think she'll be running a nice race.
Yeah, that's the comments regarding numbers 4 and 5. Nicola Drosco, Rachel Venica, we thank them for their time and their feedback. Race number 2, 1,200 meters. The early money has been for horse number 9, Status Quo, from the Michael Miller yard, 3-1 into 14-10. We all know it doesn't take a lot to shorten a first timer, but it's important that there is certainly some support for this individual. She's a horse that I think we need to keep a very, very close eye on. A nicely bred daughter of Give Me the Green Light, and given that there has been support, we need to respect that in a big way. And there's a nice story behind this horse, Status Quo. Number 2, One Smart Cookie. Now, she was very green on debut. She had, we'll say, a sort of a bad draw down the lane, even though if you don't believe in much of a bias at Hollywoodbets Scottsville down the lane, then you wouldn't take too much cognizance of that. But Samonga Kumalo, he obviously got her over to the inside, tacked over there, and that's where the horses were, and that's where the run-in was. And this filly, you can just see that she was very green. She just lacked the experience, and given that she lacked experience, she was green, she was having a first start, taking on horses that had quite a few rounds under the belt. There was some early support for her as well, which is notable. She didn't find race time support, but the early money was there for number 2, One Smart Cookie, and she ran a very, very pleasing race on debut. And based on that run, all she can do is build on it. She can only improve and get better. And she looks to be the type of horse that would have tightened up a lot after that introduction to racing. So I expect it to take a huge step forward. She's got now a nice draw down the lane. She's got horses around her. She's got that inside running rail to sort of help her. And I think that this horse is going to go extremely close to winning. Number 3, Prankster. I like the way this filly ran on debut beyond Hot Pill. I know she was comfortably beaten, and in terms of direct winners, not the strongest piece of form, but this filly was one that I said next time out we can follow, especially if she has to step up to 1400, and they've given her a rest, so she's possibly had a few issues, a few niggles that they've wanted to get over. 165 days later, she's returning. And I'll be keeping a very close eye on number 3, Prankster. I think she's going to take a huge step forward. She'll improve nicely. And if she just doesn't need the outing, I think she's a horse that can certainly get into the mix. And just having a quick look at the fixed odds betting market about horse number 3, Prankster, I think she's a horse that is generously priced up at around 5-1. If she possibly drifts out, then maybe she's possibly going to need the run. But nonetheless, whatever happens on Sunday, I think she's a horse to keep an eye on going forward. Number 7, the Supernova Star. I was encouraged by the way this filly ran on debut, the way she finished off a race. She's another one that will improve and could get a lot closer to the action. Only question mark for me is that piece of form behind Twinkle Little Star. I don't think it's the strongest piece of form, and you could possibly even use a line horse in the form of Minogue. Minogue ran second to Twinkle Little Star and was second behind Miss Alberg. But if you look at the lengths, then One Smart Cookie should have the measure of number 7, the Supernova Star. So she's definitely the horse to beat. Number 2, Health and Respect for number 9, Status Quo, especially if there's a bit of a follow-through of support for this individual. It could possibly be the 2 horses to fight out the finish. But as I mentioned, number 3, Prankster, definitely the horse that you want to keep an eye on.
It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.